Hello and welcome to everyone. Welcome to Nutrition Lunch and Learn. And I'm Sandra, your RDN, and I am happy to see you all. You all can see me this week. I know last week I did not have a camera, so everything was dark. But I hope that you all are having a wonderful day. And I hope that those who are in the path of this upcoming tropical storm, those of us living in Florida and the surrounding areas, please, I pray that we all stay safe, and I pray that this is just a rain and it doesn't amount to anything more than that. We pray that everybody keeps power and that again that everybody stays safe. So prepare yourself for this, okay? Take it seriously, but also stay prepared and prayerful. And each week, I have the pleasure of dishing out your weekly dose of nutrition news for your mind, your body, and your soul. And I am thankful for those of you who are tuning in live with me. I'm excited. We got challenge coming up. We got all kind of good stuff coming up. And for those listening to the replay, I thank you for taking time out of your schedule to listen to the replay. And so we're trying to get a routine back, right? For those of us, whether you have kids in school or even if you're past this stage, it's just something about the summertime where we just kind of relax a little bit. And so now we're the end of August. Some of us are still trying to get our groove back, right? From going back to school, going back to that routine. And so we're going to talk specifically today about, is packing your lunch really the best approach to avoiding putting on the pounds? So does it really make a difference if we eat our lunch, bring our lunch, or not bring our lunch? So that's what we're really going to talk about. And so my question that I want to ask, and this is so common when I have new clients, this is probably one of the biggest areas that people kind of have challenges with, and they just kind of struggle with. And so does it seem like it is a lot to prepare one more meal each day? Does that sound like a chore? Like now you're trying to prepare something for work. Does that seem like a chore that you have to do that? Or does it seem overwhelming to plan and prep your meals? Okay. Does that seem daunting to you? So that is really a major area. And we're so busy, right? We're so busy, and the culture really doesn't really support us taking that time out and carving out that time to think about what to eat and to make sure that we set ourselves up to where we don't have to eat out, or we're not so vulnerable to snacking and all the time. But on the flip side of it feeling so daunting to put those meals together, most of us know that bringing our lunch, cooking our meals, instead of going to the cafeteria or instead of going out to a restaurant, is good in many ways. It's going to save us money. And also, it's going to improve our overall health. We're not eating as much fat. We're not eating as much salt. That's the big one when we're eating out. And so, therefore, it just aids in overall health when we regulate that and we're not doing it every day. And so the good news is it's not as hard as you think. And so today I'm going to share two simple tricks on, tricks to the trade, I like to say, that will help you pack your lunch, think about your lunches, and it's as easy as one, two, three, and it doesn't have to be this daunting chore. And so for those who do not know me, my name is Sandra Goltry. I'm a registered dietitian, licensed nutritionist, and I am a certified personal trainer. Most importantly, I am your accountability partner, a friendly one at that. And I simply help adults who have that sense of frustration and overwhelm associated with either failed attempts at losing weight, keeping it off, improving their overall health status, or what do they just need to do in general for their particular body and their body type? Like what is going to work for them? And so the goal is to build long lasting habits. Okay. It's not a diet. It's not a band-aid. It's not some quick fix. It's not extreme measures. It's evolving life into your routine and making it work together. So you're not choosing work over what you're going to eat today or vice versa. They all work together because we need them all. Right. And so give me a second. I need to set up my windows because those who know me know that I love to ask questions. I love to take questions. I love to have engagement. And so I want this to serve as a meaningful platform for you all. So I want you all to feel comfortable. And so I want to make sure that I'm able to address your questions. So I think I have one window set up here. Let's see here. I'm checking to make sure that I can actually see you all. All right. Oh, okay. I see Lisa. How you doing, Lisa? I see. Yes. Well, can't wait for the challenge. Yes. I see that you are signed up, and so I'm excited too. And you stay safe as well. Thank you for chiming in. I'm making sure my windows are set up. All righty. And so feel free to engage, and hopefully, and as many others are logging in, please feel free to chime in ask questions and engage, okay? Because I love that. And so a little bit about this week's theme here, or this month's theme about getting back to a routine. And so, um, the one thing that usually goes to the back burner when we're in our summer months is our weight loss goals, our health goals. We're relaxing, we're enjoying, we're traveling more, we're doing more things. And so, how do we reel that back in? How do we still want to have fun, we still want to enjoy life, but how do we reel that in a little bit? Okay. And so, for those of you who have not heard about the challenge, I'm going to give more and more details about the challenge. Okay. And so, really, it's about empowering yourself again and being intentional and know that you are unstoppable and that you can get back on this journey. And so, due to life demands, maybe we fell off, maybe we lost our motivation, maybe we're feeling overwhelmed. And so, this is an opportunity for you to get self back in the top five of that priority list. Okay. And so, and I know many of us can relate to that. We all get lost in the shuffle. Okay. And so stay with me to the very end. I'm going to give more details about it. And I will post in the chat for those that I see coming on that if you are not able to make it, I'm going to put the chat in here, the link in here on how you can see details on the challenge as well. But I'm going to give more details on that. I'm really excited. And for those who are online this Thursday, I'm going to do a pre-challenge kind of a happy hours, what we call it. And that way you will get even more details about the challenge, how to prepare, how to shop. And if you have any questions about the guidebook that you received, then this will be your opportunity to interact with me live. And I'm going to do that at 7:30. And so that is on this particular Thursday. So that's that little plug-in for that. All righty. So let me ask my first question. You know, I always like to ask questions. So poll time, poll time. So do you currently bring lunch to work? Okay. Now, I know some of us work from home. So even if you work from home, I always say treat it as if you're going into the office. Okay. And what does that mean? Meaning still pack your lunch because we have more meetings when we're working from home than we do when we're actually in the office. So still have your meals prepared to where you're not trying to scramble to figure out, well, what is it I'm going to eat when you're like, 2 feet away from the kitchen. So do you bring your lunch? Do you prepare your lunch physically in the office? Or even if you're working home, do you have stuff prepared to where you can get it and go and you're not finding yourself day after day delaying lunch into where it never really happens and then all of a sudden it's dinner time? So chime in if you bring lunch or eat out. Okay, I just want to take a poll and then just kind of see where we are. Okay, let's see here. I see a few comments. Okay, good. So what are the benefits? Let's talk about the benefits. First of all, what are the benefits? Like, what's the whole point of bringing your lunch? So the benefits are one thing with packing your lunch is it lets you stay in control of what you are eating. Okay, when we're eating out, yeah, we can say lighten up on this or omit that, but at the end of the day, there are some things that are still out of our control. Okay, and so bringing your own lunch to work means that you can enjoy healthier homemade versions of many of these dishes that are laden with trans fat. And so think artery clogging when I say trans fat, or maybe added sugar. Typically, what's what you're going to get in a restaurant because they're trying to maintain flavor. It's going to be higher in sodium and things like that, and where you can season things with herbs and spices and to avoid, having too much sodium in your meal. So you just have that control and you know what it is that you're eating. And then you're limiting, how much of is unknown. And so many of us are still working from home. And so I still say, like I had mentioned earlier, still have things prepared, especially lunch. I usually say at least your lunch and your snacks, because that way you don't have to worry about having to prepare all that stuff. And so today I'm going to share two simple, we can call them time management tricks or tricks of the trade that will help making lunch more of a routine. You want to make it a routine. Maybe I used to have Fridays as my, I'll maybe go out but Monday through Thursday, I kind of brought my stuff in. All right. So I will look for those comments. And if anything pops up, just don't hesitate to chime in. And so let's talk about our first topic. So let's see here. Actually, let me go back one. I see a banner missing. Okay. So first tip is packing is a snap. Okay. So packing. So most adults prefer to have a sandwich for lunch on a regular basis. And this is perfectly healthy. There's a healthy way to make sandwiches that's even lower sodium meats, and they're uncured and nitrate free. So there's ways to even make a sandwich healthier to where it's not boring. Or you can think about having leftovers. A lot of times people will do leftovers from the dinner that they had the night before. But while you're packing up your dinner from the evening before, that is a perfect time to package up your lunch. So a lot of times people feel like they have to have this isolated special time frame to allocate for preparing for the next day. But while you're already putting up dishes, doing this, doing that, that is a perfect time to think about, hey, what am I going to have for lunch? And this is it's a time saver because you're already in the kitchen and you're already doing things. And I generally recommend to my clients is to prepare more than one meal. We typically prepare one meal in a week, and then that's all we're eating. And so we get bored. We wake up on Wednesday and we're like, I don't want the stuff that I cooked on Sunday. So think about having more than one meal, have two meals, a lunch meal, a dinner meal, just as a way to have more variety. Okay. And also think about snacks. That's a good opportunity to prepare your snacks as well while you are preparing while you're getting things ready for the evening. And so that way it saves time. Okay. And like cutting up fruits and vegetables, a lot of times people hate to cut things up. Yes, we can buy them already pre-cut, cost more, but not everything comes already pre-cut. So think about having a set time. I usually like to do it right when I come home when I'm putting up groceries. I'm already doing stuff. So why not do it at that time? I'm already kind of got that time allocated to put groceries up. It makes things easier to kind of chop things up, get things that you already know that you're going to use immediately. And then that way that'll save you some time. So that's something to think about. And so what is one? So let's see here. I'm going to ask you a question. How many meals do you prepare in a week? How many meals do you prepare in a week, would you say? And so, like I said, I had mentioned about the two meals, right? Do two meals. And that's one trick to save time. But think about how many meals you prepare. Most of us is one. So most of you always say one. And then when you run out, then you think about what's the next meal. So think about, and how do you make that process easy of doing more than one meal? Think of two different protein sources. Think of two different types of vegetables. Think of two different starches. That's kind of like the easy way to get started. Okay, so you're not eating rice all the time. You're not eating one thing all the time. So think about that. And that's one way to give a little bit of variety. And the more you do that, then you're going to get creative. You may make a recipe, or you may, you'll have that variety, and you'll feel more comfortable, and it will feel less daunting. And so and I will say, sometimes it does seem like it's a lot of work on the front end, but it will save you so much more time during your week, because when the unexpected happens, or when you get busy, or when you just don't feel like cooking, the beauty is it's already prepared for you, and you're saving yourself from having to order out, go out, etc. So it's worth it on the front end. As you become more routine with it, it gets faster, and it's just like everything else in everyday routine that you do. So you got to have that right mindset, though. I always tell my clients, you got to have the right mindset. Our culture doesn't support it, but we need it, because look at the results. Okay, look at the results. And so before getting into my second tip, I want to talk about a little bit more about this challenge that we have coming up. And so if it resonates with you, then think about the summer months. Did the weight go up? Many of our weight creeped up a little bit over the summer. And if that resonates with you, then this is a perfect opportunity for you to try to get a handle on that. And it's called Post-Summer Detox. And it's a complimentary 3-day challenge. And it's your bridge. It's your bridge to wellness, propelling you towards boundless energy and radiance. Okay, because a lot of us are a little sluggish right now. We're trying to come off of that. It's going to start on the 5th of September, and I'm going to put a URL here, the 5th of September, so right after Labor Day. That does not mean you have to eat crazy, because it's like your last supper. You don't have to treat it that way. But we are going to start right out the holidays. I'm going to kick it off. I'm very excited about that, and it's going to last for 3 days. And grab your spot. And so what's going to happen is it's a jump start. It's a jump start to your weight loss. It's a way to get back into the swing of eating on a regular basis. And for many of you, it'll give you an idea of seeing different flavors, different colors, different foods that you may not have even thought about. So you're going to have a detailed guidebook with 3 days of meal plans for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks. So, and you can use these individually after the challenge. So they stay with you. You're going to have pictures of the recipes, so you'll see how everything looks for the full 3 days. You're going to have a shopping list, so you'll know exactly what to get. And I do recommend looking at the shopping list because a lot of the stuff you may already have. You're going to have online community support with questions. So that means you're going to have your other challengers with you. I'm there with you. So it's not like it's a 3-day meal plan and then you just off to do it on your own. You're going to have me there live for 3 days. I have a different topic that I speak about. So we'll have 3 live streams and this opportunity to ask questions and have fun and to have fun. And it's about accountability and support. So invite friends, invite family members. Challenges are always more fun with a buddy. And so definitely take advantage of this opportunity leading up to kind of a precursor to the holidays. So kind of get things a little more routine before the holidays kick in. And so remember, the journey is not about deprivation. Okay, it's about thriving. And so your healthiest, more vibrant self awaits along with fitting better in your clothes and having that renewed confidence. And so if you're ready to seize that opportunity, definitely grab your spot and take that pivotal first step. Okay, that's usually what's most difficult, is just getting started. And these meals are easy, these meals are fast, so it's not going to take a whole lot of time, but it's a good way to get you on a path. Okay, a good way. And so definitely check it out and join. You'll come out of this challenge motivated, excited, amazed at what can happen in just 3 days and working you towards becoming the best version of you, because that's what it's all about. It's all about, okay? And so now let's finish up our live. If you have any questions about the challenge, do not hesitate to ask. I'm here. And so the second thing we want to talk about, let's talk about the plate method, okay? The plate method. Many of you may have heard about this. So there's always that issue of what and how to pack for lunch. That's usually probably the biggest thing that gives people anxiety is, what am I going to pack? How do I do it? How am I going to make it work? Because I just don't have a lot of time. And so one trick to use is the plate method, okay? And the way that works is it's an easy way to make sure you're getting the right foods, because many people make the mistake of leaving out food groups, okay? Starches. That's probably a classic one. And then you're starving and you're wondering why you're starving. So we want to make sure we have all the pieces so that you have an actual meal. And so one way you can load your plate is half of your plate. This is where you have your veggies. So what we call non-starchy veggies. So that's your green leafies or your broccoli, whatever that you like. Have half of your plate that. So many of us know that one. Now, a quarter of your plate, not the other half, but a quarter of your plate, have with your lean protein of choice, whether that's chicken, whether that's turkey, whether that's fish, whether that's red meat, whether that's pork. They have lean cuts too that are just as lean as chicken and fish and provide a different set of nutrients. So all of that is an option. And then we have the other half, or the other quarter of your plate, is your starch. And this is important. And this is the piece that generally people leave out, whether that's brown rice, whether that's white rice, whether that's pasta, whether that's a potato, whether that's corn, whatever that is for you, have some kind of starch on the plate. And then add your snacks. So have your snacks prepared and ready to go for that after lunch. Okay, morning snack may be optional depending on how early breakfast is. Hopefully you're having breakfast. That's a whole nother conversation. And then and what time your lunch is. But you definitely want to have that snack between lunch and dinner. That is like important to save you from making decisions you probably wouldn't normally make if you weren't too hungry. And so size of the plate matters. Okay, so just get a normal size plate, not the supersized plate, the oval plate, just the regular plate. Okay, regular plate. And so the plate method is an easy way, an excellent way, and it's a way to get your nutrients in, as well as making sure you have enough food in order to last you a few hours. Okay, so it's a process in getting your metabolism to wake back up. So this is just one piece of that puzzle, but there's a lot of little nuggets that go into getting a person to the point where their metabolism has been sleeping for years or months, or we need to wake it up. And so it's a process of doing that. And this is one of those small little nuggets to do that. Okay. And so my fun question that I like to ask is, how does your plate look? What is normally missing? If you think about your lunch today or anything that you ate this week, what was missing? Was the grains missing? Or was Vegetables missing. You got plenty of people who are not big fans of vegetables. Was uh, in some cases the protein missing? Okay, or because there's some food groups that people will use as protein, but it's really not giving as much protein as they think it is. And so, do you have a true protein source? So think about that. Think about that. And so strive for this mix when you're having all your meals, not just your lunch, but this is what you want to think about when you're having your meals. Okay. All right. And so the big takeaway message is these are just a few simple tips to make packing lunch a routine. Okay. You want to strive to not have you go out for breakfast and you go out for lunch and then you end up grabbing something to go for dinner. So that's a lot of wear and tear on your body to have to break down all of that processed stuff. So we want to limit how often we're eating out to save it for that fun, that luxury, that family gathering versus it being a routine. Because when it becomes a routine, and that's when it impacts our health and wellness, it really does. And so again, think of two main meals to have for the week versus just one. Okay. Overall, it's going to save you a whole lot of time, trust me. And it avoids boredom, it avoids the cravings and things of that nature. So those are good reasons to have those options. Use the plate method. Okay. Make sure you have some protein. Make sure you have a starch. Make sure you have some vegetables and enough of it. Feel free to throw in fruit. That is perfectly fine as well. All right. And so chime in. Feel free to post if you have questions after this live. Definitely check out the challenge. And so this concludes what I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you join the challenge. Check it out. We have a lot of good stuff that's coming on. Remember, we have the detailed guidebook that's going to guide you every step of the way. And actually, one thing I didn't tell you about the guidebook is it has a prep guide. And that prep guide will tell you on what day to prep what. So you don't necessarily have to do all 3 days in one setting. So we'll show you how to stagger things to where you're not doing so much at one time. And especially if you're not used to planning and prepping, this is a good way to get your feet wet that gives you some direction and some guidance. Okay. And remember, you'll have the grocery list. You're going to have images of you'll see the whole 3 days laid out on a grid sheet, and you're going to have support. That's the big thing. You're going to have support and accountability and fun. Okay. So this is about having fun, and my challenges are different than everybody else's because I'm present. I'm doing them with you. So I'm really excited about it. Okay. So a great way to hit the reset button as we're going into these final months of 2023. And so thank you for tuning in. And as far as next week, because the challenge is happening next week, I will not go live in this setting. I am live with the challenge for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I'm back in this setting on the 12th at 12:30. So I will see you then. And again, those who are in the path of this tropical storm, I'm in Florida, so everything is shut down tomorrow for us, schools, everything. And so those who are in the projected path, stay safe. Stay prayerful, get supplies, get everything that you need. We always want to be prepared and not needed, then vice versa. So God bless everybody and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.